And when you hear of wars and insurrections, don't panic. Now, are we hearing of stuff like that? I would say, yeah. There are real insurrections that have taken place. Also, um, there, what's taking place in Myanmar. Do you remember that situation? I'll show you. I've thought of this story so many times when it comes to trying to do a Grotal routine in this day and age, because this is a time of great change in the world. And what you're watching right now is this lady. She was doing a workout. I think she's a teacher or something like that. But it says right here, Myanmar dance workout during the military coup. So this was a coup. I think another word for that is insurrection. Okay, they took over the government, and this was going on right while she's doing her workout. And I'm thinking, and I'll let you watch it. I'll let you see a few seconds of it. Okay, if you've never seen this before, and just look at the military vehicles behind her. Basically, the government of her country is being toppled over while she's doing her workout. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that was a real trip to see. Um, that happened. Let me see the date on this video. Yeah, about 3 years ago, and I remember, y'all. This was just practice. The powers that be, they have a way of doing things. Okay, this was just this is practice for what's coming over here in America. Okay. What happened in Rwanda years ago? Y'all, that was a practice run. When 1 million people died via, it really wasn't a civil war. It was more like a civil massacre. That was practice. And back then, everyone was holding a radio. They had a radio in one hand and a machete in the other. In this day and age, it'll likely be a phone in one hand and a weapon in the other. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, y'all, it's so much. It's so much to talk about. So much is going on. But yeah, there are real insurrections taking place all over the world. And when those words were spoken to Barak about stop seeking great things for yourself, a change was taking place in his land, and God was letting him know, hey man, you got your own personal goals, you got these great things you're trying to do for yourself. Now is not the time for that. You need to be happy to be breathing. You need to be happy to be alive. And that's the guarantee that I'll give you. But all this other stuff, you don't need to be worried about that right now. And so I think about that with my situation. Barak needed to understand where he was when it comes to God's timetable. and what was going on around him, and he needed to live with those things in mind. And so I believe I'm in a similar situation. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but we're told to look at biblical examples and apply it to ourselves. I'm seeking to do a great thing, something considered impossible, like growing taller in my mid-40s. You know, I've even talked about other cool things, and like glow. And by the way, when I talk about glow, that's something real personal. I mean, I even view it like it has some sacred elements, even though it's biology. That's something real special. So uh, I'm just saying, if I ever glow, I may or may not even tell you. Okay, because I ain't about to have. That's personal. I mean, like if God helps me to get to the point where I actually see myself glowing in the dark, man, that's no, man, that's special, man. And I'm not gonna even keep talking about it. And if you don't, if you don't see, if you don't get it, man, you just don't get it. If you don't get it, you just don't get it. Um, and I'm gonna just leave that alone. More can be said. I mean, uh, it ain't. Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. Apparently, no. I'm gonna leave that alone. No, but I do still intend to talk about glow. I do intend to talk about it. Um, but anyway, uh, to me, this is kind of symbolic of how a grow tall routine would have to take place right now. But I've wondered even if it should take place. Let me go ahead and I'll talk about what I'm about to do. Uh, but let me read this real quick. When you hear of wars and insurrections, don't panic. Yes, these things must take place first, but the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes. And there will be famines and plagues in many lands, and there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from heaven. Let's talk about this. Great earthquakes. This right here. The way I see it, and I've seen it like this for decades, the fact that Jesus mentioned this right there with other man-made events, it tells me that this right here is man-made. Is man-made. And you might be wondering, well, what about the great miraculous signs from heaven? Well, through Bible study and looking at parallel accounts of this, the miraculous signs in heaven are not necessarily from God. Miraculous signs from heaven could be man-made as well. It could be man-made as well. Now, is all this April 8th stuff from God? I mean, can it be called miraculous? Let's say that. Can it be called miraculous? I'll leave that to you. Yeah. Let me just leave all that alone. Okay. uh, let's just get back to this earthquake part. Because when it comes to that sounds from heaven, that man, that's some deep stuff, y'all. And I don't think this is a video for it. And I'm not prepared to speak on all of that. Let's get to these earthquakes, and I think I should go back to some of this as well. Okay. As I mentioned, they after I made the reply to that guy, this video was taken down, and I got a strike. Did I talk about that guy in the first video? I don't even remember what I said in the first video. The guy was basically saying, when I uploaded this video very quickly, a person commented on it, and it seemed to me that it was a paid shield or possibly a bot. But it could have been, I feel like it was someone who was paid to comment. They have that. They have paid commenters on YouTube and on other social media platforms. And he commented in another language. And so I did Google Translate and found out that what he was saying was, don't argue with a fool. You only become a fool like him. And you can't convince a fool and all this stuff. And so I made a reply to him in his own language, making sure the language was very simple. And I basically said to him was, whatever helps you sleep at night. And I gave that sort of reply because some people are too afraid to face the possibility of tough things, of difficult things hard to accept, like mankind can create earthquakes. That's scary. That's scary. So people take the, I would call it a cowardly path, and just choose not to look into it, or choose not to believe it, and just dismiss it because it helps them to sleep at night. They don't want to face it, and they don't want to face it. And maybe the word cowardly is too harsh, but they may not have the current mental substance to handle that information. And so they have to build their mental strength before they can handle it. But now's the time, y'all. It's like, get strong now before all the mess hits you and you don't even know how to act. Because learning these things, facing monsters like this ahead of time, these are traumas. We might as well build the callus now for it. Build up the callus now. We need to face it. Mankind has the power to create earthquakes. So anyway, like I said, I made that comment to him. I could tell he was shocked. It was like within minutes of me commenting in his own language, my video was deleted and I received a strike. So I don't know how all that happened, but anyway, I imagine that they gave me a strike because she did mention something about the sticky things. And so what I've done is I fast forward the video past that point, and now we'll just let the rest play, and hopefully this time I won't get a strike and this video won't be taken down. Okay? And I'll let you read what she says. She's speaking in another language, but you can read the caption.
Am trăit să asistăm și la producerea de cutremure la comandă. fapt este un atac asupra Turciei din partea mai marilor lumii, cărora le-a displăcut total faptul că au fost puși la punct de Recep Tayyip Erdogan, președintele Turciei. Mai mult, poziția acestuia de neutralitate și mediator în războiul ucraineano-rus a deranjat profund, mai ales că Turcia este a doua mare putere din punct de vedere militar în cadrul NATO. Poziția sa de a bloca aderarea Suediei la NATO, dar și discursul său la Davos, mai ales precum și gestul de a pleca în mijlocul conferinței, sfidându-l pe Schwab, nu a rămas fără ecou în lumea dură și rece a conducătorilor lumii. Însă nimeni nu s-a gândit că va fi nevoie să moară oameni, atâția oameni și într-un mod atât de mișelesc, și este doar un avertisment, pentru că nu era zona cea mai populată a Turciei. 150 de replici ale unui cutremur devastator, al doilea mai mare ca primul fără existența unui focar, zona fiind stimulată artificial, armele geologice existând de foarte mult timp, folosindu-se până acum fără a cauza prea multe victime, probabil pentru experimente. Acum a fost pusă în practică. Dacă ne vom uita cu atenție pe harta conductelor din Turcia, o să vedem că este brăzdată de conducte de gaz și petrol, acestea fiind de fapt și unul dintre scopuri, distrugerea lor. Însă cu 10 secunde înainte de producerea așa zisului seism, turcii au închis aceste conducte. În plus, cu 24 de ore înainte de producerea seismului, 10 state și-au retras ambasadorii din Turcia. Cu 5 zile înainte de producerea acestuia, Maie din România emitea o avertizare de călătorie pentru cetățenii români în Turcia, deși nu exista vreun pericol, la fel alte țări. Omorând oameni și-au făcut interesele. Hărțile prezentate pe toate canalele de televiziune arată că nu a existat un epicentru, ci o epilinie cu mii de cutremure. Serviciile secrete turcești investigează o posibilă intervenție criminală, a se citi o implicare a altui stat în declanșarea primului seism, ce a urmat ulterior fiind o reacție în lanț după destabilizarea plăcilor tectonice din regiune. Este foarte clar că președintele Erdogan a fost pedepsit pentru curajul, demnitatea și onoarea sa și pentru apropierea sa de Federația Rusă, în fapt o poziție de neutralitate și mediere pentru pace. În plus, se dorește îndepărtarea atenției oamenilor de pe Ucraina, unde deja reprezentanții multor țări au început să vocifereze împotriva despotismului și ordinelor date de președintele Zelenski, de parcă ar conduce lumea și cineva ar avea obligația să trimită arme și să participe la războiul său, într-un război în care și-a sacrificat propriul popor și și-a distrus întreaga țară. Oricine vorbește de pace este pus la stâlpul infamiei și atacat din toate părțile. Așa s-a întâmplat și în România când am demarat demersul unic, neutralitate pentru România, pacea de la București. S-au năpustit toți asupra mea pentru că acum, după un an de război, să spun aproape toți ceea ce afirm și susțin eu de la început, arogându-și paternul ideilor, plagiatorilor, fariseilor, iudelor. Din cauza voastră au murit și mor oameni în continuare. Aveți toți mâinile pătate de sângele a milioane de oameni omorâți pentru interesele unor nebuni care au ajuns să conducă lumea. Din păcate, la nivelul de conducere a României avem numai incompetenți, stupiți, plagiatori, hoți, tâlhari, infractori, lași, trădători și lista continuă. Acești incompetenți, premiați prin țări străine pentru merite deosebite în sprijinul acestora și în detrimentul României, încearcă la acest moment să facă din România, din stat neutru suveran, un stat servil și ofensiv, prin intermediul căruia unele mari puteri să-și exercite acțiunile războinice și să transforme românii în carne de tun în interesul altora. Iudelor, vă vom opri cu orice risc și cu orice preț. Lăsați România suverană și neutră. Nu ne interesează războaiele nimănui. Din totdeauna ne-am apărat neamul și glia și nu am atacat pe nimeni, cum ar trebui să știți că mai mereu am fost în tabăra perdantă, chiar și atunci când tabăra a câștigat. Noi am plătit mereu. De ajuns. Până aici. România își păstrează neutralitatea, indiferent ce ați promis voi, trădătorilor. Avem obligația de a păstra relații de bună vecinătate în regiune, indiferent ce vă cer unii și alții. Dacă nu sunteți în stare să ne apărați pacea și nu sunteți, atunci plecați sau vă dăm noi jos. Îmi este foarte clar că la acest moment lucrurile la nivel internațional au scăpat de sub control. Nebunii se joacă de-a Dumnezeu și cred că au câștigat jocul, pentru că pentru acești demenți și psihopați care produc războaie și cataclisme cu arme neconvenționale, noi oamenii suntem doar niște cifre de care se pot descotorosi. Este imperios necesar ca toate națiunile, popoarele lumii să ne ridicăm împreună, să ne trezim din comoditate și nepăsare și exact ca la 1848 să începem lupta de eliberare de sub jugul psihopaților, al demenților care ne-au răpit fericirea și lumea frumoasă în care trăiam. De aceea vă îndemn pe toți cei care mai vreți să trăim într-o lume a lui Dumnezeu și nu a satanei. Vă îndemn la ridicarea la luptă, la revoltă mondială pentru a ne elibera cu toții și a nimici acești dușmani, pentru că în acest moment suntem în legitimă apărare. Luați ghearele de pe Turcia, luați ghearele de pe România, luați ghearele de pe oamenii lui Dumnezeu. Avertisment pentru psihopații lumii. Dacă pentru voi este nevoie să moară oameni, și pentru noi este nevoie să pieriți voi. Este totul sau nimic. Ochi pentru ochi și dinte pentru dinte. Legea talionului. Vă mulțumesc, senator Partidul SOS România, Diana Iovanovici Șoșoacă.
Okay, there you have it. She called it out. What you're looking at, from my assessment, this is revelation taking place. She is speaking for the beast systems. There's two systems. There's a system of Babylon the Great, and then there's the beast, the wild beast. I'll talk about this. Well, I made a 3-hour video on this. I think it was in the year 2022, but I stopped because of my language. I didn't use the best words, but I may go ahead and upload it, okay? And I'll just begin with a preface or something, because some of the things that I was saying may appear offensive to some people, and some of what I said, I did say in ignorance. I spoke of the Babylonian Talmud, and I was ignorant about some things of that, ignorant about the Babylonian Talmud to a degree. So, at any rate, my point is, in Revelation, Babylon the Great sits on the beast. The beast then kills Babylon the Great. Okay, and so listen to how she's speaking. I may not be using the best words right now. I'm trying to rush and finish this video. She is calling upon all world leaders. Okay? And that's what the beast is. It's a group of world leaders united. Okay. On their backs is Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great itself is a great kingdom. But they are behind the scenes. The Bible even indicates that in its language. It's a kingdom who has it's a city that has a kingdom over the kings of the earth. And so listen how she talks. She is saying, world leaders, we need to unite and get this monkey off our back. Get this. She's saying what's in the book of Revelation. World leaders, let's unite. There's an entity over us. They're terrorizing us. They're abusing us. They are wielding authority over us. They're trying to coerce us. They are trying to steer us. We must remove them from off of our backs. That's what the book of Revelation says. She's speaking it. And you'll see it's very interesting. She used the word Pharisees. It's shocking. It's shocking. Look, I used that language in the video I did before the earthquake in Turkey even happened. And before this lady spoke, I used the word Pharisees. And I think possibly God spoke through this woman by throwing that word Pharisees in there. Because that's who Babylon the Great is. They are run by Pharisees, and I will explain what that is. It's a kingdom of Pharisees. Literally. And these were the exact people who were against Jesus. The Bible makes it expressly clear. I will explain this. But this is Revelation going down. It's happening. And look, in what context is she speaking of this? She's saying Babylon the Great is causing earthquakes in the world. And they are murderers. They are murderers and they need to be held to account. And that's what Revelation says. So foolish it seems to me to be involved in a Grotal routine right now. It seems dumb. This stuff is going down. It's happening.